You ever met real talented people? They're so talented, but they don't focus on the grit and work ethic it takes to take that talent to heights they never could imagine. And then you meet people that work really hard and have grit, and they smash people with talent. Today, what I want to talk about is how hard work and grit just trounces talent, but how when you put the two together, it's a bloodbath. Hope this helps. Today we're going to talk about how hard work and grit beat talent every time when talent doesn't work hard. And so when I look at hard work and grit, I can honestly say that's a staple of who I am, a staple of my career, a staple of things I've done. I got that from my mom. I've seen multiple people with this skill set of hard work and grit. Don't think that's not a skill. It is a skill. And when it's mastered, it's a freight train. And so if you're avoiding hard work and grit, you're making a big mistake. I love talented people, to be very clear. Love talent. The problem is when you're so talented that you use that as a crutch to not work hard, it crushes you long term. You can always get your way in the door. You can always hang around for a little bit, but you're going to get exposed. You will be exposed very quickly because no one's confused. And so when you mix the two together, it's explosive. But let's talk about why hard work and grit outweigh talent. And let's start with this first point here, learning and adaptability. Why is it important to always be learning and to always be adaptable? Listen, if you're reading, you're leading. People who read books that are teaching lessons on going places in life are huge. And I don't care if that's mental, I don't care if that's financial, I don't care if that's spiritual, I don't care if that's about fitness, but if you're learning, you're growing. If you're not learning, you're dying. And people who are learning are always adaptable. Why? When you're learning, you are always hearing someone else's perspective. You can learn from the same perspective all the time, not highly recommended, but when you have multiple influences, and that could be different authors, that could be different influencers, that could be different, people you follow online, whatever the deal, you're always adapting because you always have a different perspective. You're comfortable with a different perspective, but you're growing. And so when I think about hard work and grit, I think about people that are always looking to grow, always looking to learn, always trying to make adaptations in their mindset, their thought process, their business, and that's important. Every time I think of this topic, I think about my journey in the insurance career. And I just want you to understand, my insurance journey is a journey of sales and building salespeople and developing sales leaders. And so there's always excuses. There's always talented people. The hard workers always crushed them dudes. And it was always great when you had hard work and talent together. But the people who are always trying to jigger the system, create a new world, create a new path, I figured it out, I know what to do next, always ended up in a dead-end road. I'm not saying innovation wasn't important. I'm not saying your own ideas weren't important. What I'm saying is that there was a well-weathered path to success. The people who worked really hard and walked that path always win. I never seen someone work hard, walk the path and lose. Never. And so in our business, we had to dial the phones a lot, or door knock a lot, or meet with a lot of people. If you dialed the phones a lot, door knocked a lot of people, you met with a lot of people. It was the decent equation, simple, not hard math, not algebra, not calculus. Dial the phones a lot, knock a lot of doors, meet with a lot of people. Generally, if you meet with a lot of people, you made a lot of sales. Obviously, there were people that met with people who were not likable, and there were people who met with people who just didn't try. But the people who worked hard also worked hard on how to connect with a lot of people. Because I don't want to book a lot of appointments, knock on a lot of doors, meet with a lot of people, and not develop my sales techniques. How does that make sense? So even if I'm getting my butt kicked at first, my hard work and grit is kicking in at every single level. And so when I'm learning and adapting, that's working for me too. I'm learning how to get better at my craft while I work hard at getting better at learning at my craft. You see how that works? B, overcoming obstacles. These men and women constantly punch rocks and boulders in the face. They constantly split boulders with axes. They constantly figure out how to jump walls, scale ceilings, hang upside down like Spider-Man. Why? Because they're finding a way. They're constantly looking to find a way. They don't care. They don't care if they have to, I remember vividly walking up to someone's front door, going to the front door, realizing they were either home or playing out like they weren't home. And I remember walking around the back of the house and walking up the deck, and they have this glass deal, and they're just in their kitchen like this. The couple, just like this. Meaning they're hiding in the most appropriate spot so that none of the windows in the front of the house, I can see them. And I look right at him, I go, lady comes to the back door, slides it up, and she goes, "You're real persistent, huh?" I said, "I'm just doing my job." And because I'm not gonna let you and your little door and your blinds closed, that doesn't bother me. I don't even think about it. Like, there's no way I'm not coming to your back door. There's no way I'm not if the cars are in the driveway and the this and the that and there's movement, I heard something. Listen, I'm trying to help you with the request you had. But I'm not gonna make that an obstacle. And if I see it as an obstacle, I'm going to overcome it. You have to overcome it. When I first got on the phone, I remember talking to this guy. He was so angry, but I was so angry. I didn't know how to deal with this guy. I didn't really know how to book appointments. I'd been in sales, but it was rough. And I was dealing with a different kind of sale, different kind of appointment book. This guy was mad. And so when he got mad, my nerves made me get mad. And when I got mad, he got madder. He started cursing at me. And all of a sudden, I'm cursing back at him. I wasn't even trying to do nothing but book an appointment. And now we're yelling at each other, then he hangs up. I didn't know how to overcome that obstacle. But you better believe that when I started learning and adapting, I learned how to overcome that. How'd I do it? I dropped my voice low, monotone. I didn't get excited when they said something I wasn't expecting. I learned how to deal with all kinds of people. That's what happened. And so I became really good at overcoming obstacles, as did a lot of the people that I worked with, a lot of my business partners. It became something that was just innate for us to overcome obstacles. See, the reason why hard work and grit crush talent when talent doesn't work hard is because what's happening when you do one more dial, when you have a power hour at the end of the night, when your 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. appointments all no-showed you, you have a 7 and an 8, but everything inside of you wants to go home. You're dying to tap, but you go to your last appointments anyway. What starts to happen when things go bad and you still show up, you start to build resilience. And this is a great place to be, because as a business owner, if you don't have resilience, that means every time it's hot, you melt. Every time it's cold, you turn into an ice cube. Every time there's a problem, you fold. How are you going to build a sustainable business doing that? It's not going to work, you know that. So why not, let's start building these layers of skin. Let's build it, let's get it thicker and thicker and thicker, and we look at challenges as solutions. I was at a business dinner a few months back, and I was talking to a few people, and the meeting wasn't going exactly the way I thought it would go. And so I was not that excited about it. And leaving the dinner, I shook hands with the gentlemen that were there, and we all went our separate ways. But I remember getting in my car and going, God is good. God is good. God, you're in control. God, you got this figured out. It wasn't the exact outcome that I was looking for, but God, you're good. God, you're in control. I'm grateful for what's in front of me. I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for what's coming next. I'm grateful. This is being in the trenches for a while. I'll say decades. But I couldn't always do that. Let's just be real. I didn't always do that. I don't always do that. That resolve comes from the ability to recognize that no matter what happened before and what happens next, everything's amazing. Everything right now is amazing. I'm breathing air, I'm above water, I'm able to communicate with people, I'm able to communicate to you, I have a family, I have my health, all the things. We're winning. You're winning. But when you start building resilience, you get to see it that way, because everything that happens isn't the end of the world, or everything that doesn't happen. And let's start focusing on this. And then D, developing a strong work ethic. Understanding work ethic can be your freaking driving force. Your ability to work and work and work. That doesn't mean neglect your body. That doesn't mean neglect your health. That doesn't mean neglect your family. It just means you know how to work. And when you do that and you have this grit and you have all of these skill sets and it starts to snowball and you start to understand where all the levers are, and how to turn them on and how to turn them off and how to get them to be in neutral and be in fifth gear and sixth gear and first gear, and you start to understand the machine that you are, the machine that you're becoming, it's a wrap. And I need you to understand this, because if we mix hard work and grit and talent, woo baby, you're gonna kill it. And so understand that this kind of stuff can help you get to your next level, can help you, be grateful about what you have, can help you turn bad things into good things, can help you advance to great heights. You need this kind of stuff. You need this information. You need this kind of equipment with you as you're going on this journey of life, understanding that hard work and grit smashes talent. But when you put them together, it's game over. Hope this brings value. God bless. Have you struggled with work ethic and drive? Have you struggled with maintaining the kind of grit that it takes to stay in the game? Have you struggled with being thin-skinned? Have you struggled with not being able to win the day and overcome obstacles the way you should in life at times? It's okay. I hope this video helped you with that. I hope you can add this to your arsenal. I hope you play this back, and I hope that this is something that brings you value. Subscribe to the channel. We're trying to grow. We're trying to reach more people. We want more people to get this content. Please subscribe. And if you've seen this, you've struggled with this, you've been amazing at this, you've been the person that has hard work and grit, you've been the person that has talent that has leaned on it too much, or you've been the person with both, please comment. Let's build the community. Let's talk about this. Let's help people get better in these deficiencies so they too can live a dominant entrepreneurial life.